on the radar, baby. I got my boy Khalil Jibran in the building.
Yo, yo, yo.
And you know what, bro? I did my research, all right? So if I'm not mistaken, that name is a 20th century philosopher's name?
Yes, philosopher, poet, some would say even prophet.
So that's your real name or that's your stage name?
Well, see, that's who I was named after.
Okay.
So that's the energy that my name carries that was transferred over into me.
Oh, okay.
So I have this philosophy that I am Khalil Jibran reincarnated.
Really?
Right.
So like in your music and stuff like that, you feel like that you kind of embody what he embodied.
For sure, because my grandmother, she was a person who had a very extensive library. So, when I was in high school dealing with certain things, I would it's certain books that find you. And that's the type of books my grandmother had. So I started reading books like Think and Grow Rich, The Law of Attraction. So when I got to Khalil Gibran's work, it was all of that, but in such poetic form that it was just like, and I was already doing music at that time and studying that philosophy, so it was just like, wow, like this resonates so deeply, and this is who I was named after. So it was just crazy.
Did you discover like his work on your own, or were your parents like, hey, like, look, this is who you were named after, and they just handed you the book?
It's crazy. I tell this story like it's actually a girl from college.
Oh, really?
Yes. I was telling the story like, yeah, I was named after Khalil Jibran. She was like, oh my God, the book The Prophet changed my life. She was like, you haven't read it? I'm like, nah. And she just left. She said, I can't talk to you until you read that book. So
you went and you read that book real quick, I bet.
Real quick.
So,
but just for something to somebody's words to move somebody on that level.
Yeah.
So she said it changed her life. So evidently whatever he was doing was timeless. And that's what I aspire to do with my music.
So do you feel like that the book changed your life after you read it?
Definitely, because...
And I've never read the book, so
right.
you can enlighten me on some of the things that he spoke about in the book.
Right. Basically, how it was a metaphor. It was like he was a wise man who came to visit a place, but the time was coming that he had to leave that place, and his ship from his homeland was coming to get him. So basically, he was like on a hill, and all the people was asking for these little pieces of wisdom before he left. So he gave little things on marriage, on friendship, on love. And these are all like such profound things that he's able to narrow down and get into a few short sentences.
Right.
But the crazy part is that at the end of that book, he says, a moment's rest upon the wind, and another woman shall bear me.
Wow.
So it's crazy, man. It's crazy.
You know what that reminds me a lot of? When I was in college, the book that was kind of like that for me was The Alchemist. Have you ever read The Alchemist? 100%. And you know what's crazy? I never finished the book. And here's why. Every time that, and the way my mom always kind of pitched The Alchemist to me, she's like, this book is here when you need it. And like, each time that you read it, or that, my mom's read it, or that someone that I know has read it, you take something different from it.
Right.
So when I would have, like, when I would be between internships, or I wasn't sure exactly where I was going to be going, like job-wise, work-wise, radio stuff-wise, at my school station, I remember I would pick up the book and I would read it, right, at night. And I would read, like, a couple pages, a little, take some stuff out of it and then keep it pushing. And then let's say I got the job I was going for, I got the internship, or I got the interview I wanted to do, then I would stop reading it until, like, I needed it again. So it's really, and I still have the book, and I think I'm pretty close to finishing, but it's always just been something that's like, I read it, and then I take what I need out of it, and then I stop reading it. And for whatever reason, at that point where I stopped reading it, I got what I needed to get out of it, and then I just keep it pushing.
Wow.
And I haven't read it in, like, a year.
Wow.
So, like, whenever I feel like I need this, like, a little bit of advice, and I can't really, and it's stuff that I can't go to my parents for, or my family, I go to that book and I read it, and then I just take, kind of like how you said that, like, the prophet changed your life, or the girl said the prophet changed her life.
Right.
That's kind of what this book did for me. Like, it gave me, like, the insight that I needed to do certain things in my life, or, it kind of showed me how to navigate through certain water situations. And I found that crazy, because it was so weird how what was happening in the book while it's not like, oh, the guy got fired, it's not like that at all. It's still related to like the things I was going through at the time.
Right. Your specific journey.
Exactly.
And the things that you went through and had to overcome on that specific journey.
Exactly.
So it's like kind of a unisex thing for anybody.
Yeah. It's not just pertaining to a man or a woman. It's a very like I said, my mother read in when she would go through tough times in her career, or as a teacher or whatever, she would read it, take what she needed, kept it pushing, and like for some reason the book was always there to give her the knowledge that she needed to get through whatever she was going through at the time.
Wow.
Which is crazy.
Wow.
That was a great little conversation. That's so dope. Now I got to read The Prophet.
You have to, bro.
I got to read The Prophet. So how do you take what you learned from obviously the person you're named after and The Prophet and you put it into your music?
Because it's like I'm a very spiritual person.
Mm-hmm. I get that vibe.
So I know everybody can't handle this level of me directly.
Mm-hmm.
So sometimes I go to people worlds. Like I adapt. I'm very good at adapting.
Mm-hmm.
But I wanted to eventually get to a place where I'm bringing everybody to my world, where there's no space and time, and it's no words. It's no words for it.
Right.
You see what I'm saying? But I know it's like, all I would say is that it's hard to explain. But Khalil Jibran and The Prophet, he did it.
Right.
He achieved it.
He brought people into his world,
into that space.
And it's really interesting how you kind of take like the poetry, his writing, and you like kind of think of it in a musical sense, and trying to bring like your music is you trying to bring people into your world and your experiences that you
Definitely.
like that you grew up and you felt. Am I kind of like on the right path with that?
For sure, 1,000%.
So growing up in Newark, what was it like kind of like growing up, and how do you kind of try to convey those messages or like the things that you went through your music?
Well, my experience growing up in Newark is like you have so many examples of what not to do.
Right.
Or what's going wrong, or what you could do if you make the wrong decision. And there's very slim chance, there's very few people doing the right thing that you could say, I want to be like him. Or I want to be like this person. So it's just weird, man, because you have to really, know how to move, know how to survive. Because anything can happen to you, any given place. If you look at somebody and eye contact longer than a few seconds, it could get ugly for you.
Yeah.
Something simple is just looking at somebody for a few seconds of eye contact.
Yeah, could turn things around.
Right. So sometimes you had to know how to be swift and just stay under the radar, off the grid, if you're really trying to get to something.
You're trying to get out of there.
Yeah, pretty much.
So, speaking on your experiences, I know you were a victim once.
Yeah.
So how did that situation play? God bless, like that you're still here today with us to do this.
Sure.
So how did that, kind of change, I guess, your outlook on life and music and everything that you've been doing?
For one, it confirmed to me the fact that I was invincible.
Okay.
I always felt like chosen.
Right.
Like when I watched certain protagonists in the movies, I would always identify.
Like you were the chosen one.
Exactly. And if I was watching Star Wars, The Matrix, Avatar, whatever the case may be, I always felt like I was that figure to exemplify that. And I felt like that experience was a exhibit A type of thing. Because I felt no pain.
So when you woke up and all that,
it was no waking up.
Really? That's crazy.
That's what I'm saying.
So
everybody's around me in panic and shock, and I'm just.
So what do you feel like? Because you're speaking a lot about your purpose and all that. So what do you feel like your purpose is after going through what you've gone through and doing music and all that?
Being.
Just being.
When I'm on stage is when I'm my freest. I'm in a state of no mind.
It's kind of like a little bit of a high.
High is an understatement.
Really?
Super.
What would you describe it as then?
I would describe it as just like a trance of just channeling just divine God force energy and just letting it just surrender into it.
Mm-hmm.
You know? And it's such a blissful experience when you really get lost in it.
So let's talk about since we're on the topic of music. So you dropped a single last year, Look at Me Now.
Right.
And you actually have a new visual out for your new song, Double It. Am I correct?
That's right. That's right.
So what's your music like? What type of approach do you take? Because I know you got like some different sounds. You mess around with a lot of different type of stuff. So what's your kind of like your process when you're making music?
Well, my process now is more energy driven, because I started off from a point of being like super wordy, super lyrical, and that was cool for the time being. But I noticed the market wasn't really receptive to that at that point in time. That wasn't the climate we were at in hip hop at that point in time.
Gotcha.
I would go to certain showcases, put my own money up, compete, and everybody would know that I would be the most talented one performing, but I still wouldn't win. People who was winning, who they had their whole entourage with them. They bought bottle in the club, and they had a song that fit that environment of drinks, of the lit, just energy.
Right.
It wasn't about bars. It wasn't about technique with your pen. It's about creating a song that allows everyone to have fun. So when I noticed, because I'm a hustler at the same time, I'm very business minded. So I have to be in love enough with my artistry to know that I have to make this business move. So I say that to say I have to give the people what they want right now,
which is energy driven music.
Energy. Nobody want to think. We in the age.
Do you enjoy doing energy driven music though, or
I do.
Or do you prefer the lyrical?
I do
stuff.
I do. I do enjoy doing the energy driven stuff, but it's like me personally. It's like I have to balance the other part in my alone time.
Right.
It's like I'm not able to share that part how I really want to.
Do you think that you'll get to a point where you'll be able to share that part?
Of course. That's the whole goal, in everything I'm doing now. It's kind of like the means justify the end.
So you can so you're doing the energy driven music now, so you can get to a point where you can kind of do energy but also have lyrical type stuff at the same time. Is that what you're getting at?
Yes and no, because yes, that was the original intention, but for the album I'm working on, that's the whole concept behind it.
Right.
Of knowing that one can't exist without the other.
Interesting. So like a yin and yang type situation. Exactly. So like for every Migos, you got to have like a Cole.
Right.
Okay.
Right.
And since we're talking about the album, we might as well, because I know you're gonna announce it. So name, drop date, give it to me. Let's go.
The Magnum Opus.
Wow. Okay.
Yes.
Very.
And it's actually based off. It was inspired from The Alchemist.
Really?
And so it's dealing.
Look at that, full circle.
Full circle.
Full circle.
That is how this is with me, like this.
So talk to me. When is this project dropping?
We looking at fourth quarter this year, or top of 2020.
Okay, cool. You taking your time with it?
Oh yeah. It's gonna be a masterpiece.
Like, so what do we? So there's there's gonna be energy driven music on there, and there's also gonna be some lyrical stuff. Are you gonna be playing around with any other types of? I don't know.
The aim for it really is to be world music.
World music in like the sense of you're gonna have like Afro beats or like some Caribbean vibes on there, or just stuff that's something that appeals to everybody.
Just no boundaries. Like, think of a little bit how Andre 3000 approached music, where it's no genre.
Right.
It's just him. You know what I'm saying? So that's how I'm gonna do it in my way. You know what I'm saying? The Magnum Opus. And it's really gonna be about, the alchemical process. I know in The Alchemist they talk about the Philosopher's Stone.
Yeah.
So it's a lot of technical things that I'm gonna get into, and I'm really debating now how deep I want to get into it. You know what I'm saying?
Why not go like why not just like kind of just dive right in?
Because
you don't think people ready for that?
Sometimes it's an overload. You know what I'm saying? It's an overload. And if I was cold level, hell yeah,
you get there
for sure.
You'll get there
for sure. But it's like coming out the gate. Cause I watched it with Lupe. You know what I'm saying?
But you can still come out the gate swinging like that. You know
what I'm
saying?
For sure. But I'm talking about like when I talk about I get like technical and it gets crazy.
Yeah, Lupe took it to a whole nother level now.
Yeah, and it's like people
can't handle, and people
they
aren't
just
ready
look
for
at
it.
it just like, oh no.
I can admit, like I tried listening to Lupe's last project, and not all of it stuck with me.
For sure.
I'm man enough to admit that, like,
same.
I just listened to it. I was like, I don't think this is it, and not because he's not good. It's just because I don't know. I felt he went somewhere that either we're not ready for, or just didn't appeal enough to my ears. You know?
Exactly.
So I understand I get what you're getting at now.
Exactly. So I don't want to be too in my own world that I neglect the shared experience of what the music was originally supposed to do. You know what I'm saying?
So now I understand the energy driven part more now.
Right.
Now that we say that, because Lupe, you know, I'm a big fan of Lupe. I've been listening to Lupe since I was, I don't know, like 11, 12, but there was like a point, I forgot, what was his last, Dragos was his last, or was that a single? I remember there was like the last album he put out, and I remember it was this big kind of like art piece type thing, and I remember listening to it, and I was just like, I don't know why I can't remember. It's not Food and Liquor anymore, you know what I'm saying? And Food and Liquor was like, the Food and Liquor era was like his best era, and Lasers was like his his mainstream, his little mainstream appeal, and then he just kind of like, I'm gonna fade back, and he put this project out, and I just don't think that people were ready for it, or people, you know, it just didn't resonate with anybody. He didn't have like, you know, that one song on there that would be like the radio hit or like the turn up song, or you know, and that's why nobody kind of like dealt with it.
Exactly.
So are any of the songs that you have out now going to be on that project? Like, do you
maybe
do you consider any of the songs you have out now like a single for it, or
maybe Look at Me Now, maybe Double It too. I mean, they both fit along with the storyline.
It's gonna be a full length album.
See, here's the
thing. Or you want to do like a little EP type joint?
No, it's gonna be a full length album. Talking like 20 songs.
Okay.
You know what I'm saying? College dropout level. Like, you know what I'm saying? I'm also anticipating a film to go along with it.
Oh, that's cool.
Exactly. So, you know, it's going to be a soundtrack with the film and stuff as well. So
like a visual album, kind of.
Right. Well, no, actual.
Like an actual film?
Yes.
Okay.
Yes.
What is your kind of, I guess, vision for the film?
The magnum opus concept. How the yin cannot exist without the yang. You know what I'm saying? The union of those opposites and the beautiful struggle of the tension between it. You know, that's what life is. Man, woman, sun, moon, up, down, hot, cold, balance.
Wow. I feel more spiritual after this conversation. So I know you got some performances coming up, and of course you got to promote that. So
definitely.
What we got? Tell me about it.
Coming up this Saturday, we got the new Daru Experience.
Okay.
We having that in East Orange. We got a lot of Jersey artists coming out, putting on, you know, representing Jersey. What else we got? April 4th, we headlining SOBs, Khalil Jibran and Friends.
Okay.
Get those tickets, pop out. You know, we got the live band.
I need those tickets, bro, by the way.
That's a fact. You know, we got the live band. I'm going to have some background singers.
Very dope.
We're going to jazz it up. We're going to do the hits. I'm going to have the DJ with me. You know what I'm saying? And it's going to be a great night. You know, it's an honor to be in that venue, such a legendary venue.
Right.
Then the 11th we have Cityplex. I recorded a live album Unplugged style.
Okay.
This past October, I did a partnership with Newark Arts. That's part of the city of Newark, whatever.
So you're gonna do a little live performance there for that too?
Actually, it's like we're gonna debut the viewing at a movie theater.
Oh, okay, cool.
Yeah, along with some other content.
Oh, wow. So you're gonna rent out like a movie theater or something like that?
Right.
That's dope.
Right. Because remember, this is all a setup for the magnum opus.
Right.
For
So you're creating like the build up for it.
Exactly.
That's dope.
Exactly.
So you got any other performances besides that?
We at the Movement Space March 30th. It's gonna be a movie.
So let me get this straight. We got a whole bunch of performances. We got the Magnum Opus dropping fourth quarter.
Mm-hmm.
Double It video out now.
Mm-hmm.
Am I missing anything? What else we got? Movie coming soon.
Movie coming soon. EP coming soon.
EP coming soon.
EP coming very soon. That's looking like mid to late March. Get y'all a few joints. This is like an appetizer. Because like I said, everything is picking up steam for this Magnum Opus. So it's going to be a lot of EPs and singles being dropped and mixtapes and things, features and things of that nature. Because the Magnum Opus, the world needs to be paying attention.
They definitely do.
They need to.
I feel so much more spiritual after this conversation, man. I want to thank you for coming.
Thank you.
Yo, let the people know where they can get your music, where they can check out your new video, all that good, where they can follow you, all that good shit.
Well, you can find me everywhere at Khalil Jibran. We also got the website up and running, KhalilJibran.com. You would get updated about a lot of shows, new videos, whatever the case may be. Instagram, Khalil Jibran, KHALILJIBRAN.
Where they can get where can they get your music at?
Everywhere. Apple Music, Tidal, all streaming platforms. Khalil Jibran. Search me up, stream it, show love.
Catch a vibe.
That's right.
Khalil Jibran on the radar, man. Woo!
One time for your mom. Peace.